Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Hemlata. Good evening.
So, how was the weekend?
It was relaxing for me.
Wow, nice. How
Good
about you,
evening,
Kalyan?
Prataji. Good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening, Preeti. How are you?
Hello.
Yes.
So for me, this was on Saturday.
Pan IIT Bangalore Summit. Wow. So, what were you doing? Participating? Or
Participated. I just participated. Okay, so
what was the highlight? What did you like about it?
there was I don't know if it is clear.
Not that clear, but you can tell us.
Fine. Okay, we can probably spend a couple of minutes. Okay, so the opening keynote was by the second in command of Air Force, Air Marshal Sitapalli Srinivas, and the topic was uh, sovereignty for national security using AI.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and so he talked about. So his quote was, "The one who's going to rule the skies will win the wars going forward." And so the drones, the unmanned aircrafts, and then the combat aircrafts, right? So there's a lot of indigenous tech that is now going into this particular space. We were relying on Rafaels and the foreign technology until now. And with the deep tech, the deep infra, and the deep minds, we should be able to build this technology over here, indigenous. And there was someone from ADA, Aeronautical Development Agency, 82 years old. Um, and so his speech was highlight. So he said, I'm probably going to live maybe another 10 years or so. And before I exit this space, I want to give the Indian Air Force and the Navy 200 unmanned aircrafts built with the technology which is supported by the IITs and the tech, the tech giants, right? So, so primarily the theme was the penetration and the impact of AI in defense, in government, in startups, in enterprise SaaS, and in GCCs. I think
Very
this
nice.
scale of the event was pretty high. Okay, so it was not like any other events that I have attended. So yeah, that's the brief update from that event.
Nice, very inspiring. Good, good, good. So you have all had a good weekend, huh? Somewhere you are learning and someone is relaxing. How about you, Rajesh? Are you there?
Hi, madam. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. So how was your weekend?
Weekend was good. Thank you.
Mm.
Part of some function, family functions.
Okay, okay, good, good. So yesterday I was just thinking, what we should do this week. So, and I was researching a lot of topics and all. So the five things I shared to you yesterday, that these are standard questions which are asked in all most of the interviews, one or two, maybe two or three, so the
Yeah.
numbers may vary, but these are are generally asked in most of the interviews. So what I would suggest, I was thinking ki for whom should I prepare the script. Then I don't know, any of you quite well. So I thought, let me prepare the script for myself so that I can, take it through all of you very in a very natural flow. So I worked on developing a flow. So what I suggest to all of you, because it took me also a lot of time. Firstly, researching about, firstly, because if you are not trying for a job, then you are not trying to know much of your own self also, that where you are, what you want to do, what is your style. And then I researched on my own style, what I want to do, what motivates me. So just putting on a lens of understanding my own self first. Then I jotted down, some of my answers, that, what I want. Then I tried to develop that script using an AI, just refining on my own script. So what happens once we write a script and we refine on our own? Then what happened? Then we are able to, present it also as a natural conversation flow. But if we don't know, then we may say I'm an empathetic leader, or we may say something, we are this kind of a leader. But then we are not trying to club some examples also along with what we are trying to say. So today I want to take you through, these 5 questions for my own self. And I want all of you to do this homework, not during the week, because I understand everyone is very busy, and working on these aspects during the week is a bit tough thing. So during the weekend, I want all of you to work on this. And next Monday onwards, just one time, I would like, everyone to speak this script in front of everyone. Then it becomes, it's, you read the script, you don't have to, remember. Because when you have to speak, because this is your, about you, you can always speak it in a flow. How does this sound to all of you? Hi, Sujay. Good. So everyone, I would like your cameras to be open if that's possible, because otherwise, in this kind of a conversation, it.
Just 2 minutes, ma'am. I'm just.
Okay. Carry on. If you are busy with something, then it's fine. Just be around. That's okay. It's not mandatory, but I would just, I would prefer that, I would say. So, okay. So I also just prepared my script. So I just want to take you through that. So I thought, yeah. So first we'll talk about, tell me about yourself. So though this question, sounds quite easy question, but if we prepare a good flow with 1 or 2 examples, then it becomes, an anchor for your other parts of the interview. So looking at that, I'll just run through my script. So to give you a brief overview, I'm an electrical engineer by background with an MBA in strategy and finance and a PhD focused on infrastructure risk. Over the past 33 years, I have worked at the intersection of engineering, financial discipline, and risk mitigation for the supply chains for large infrastructure projects. When I look at my career, it really comes down to 3 key things. Firstly, about team driven result. I handle large portfolios, currently managing 2000 crore portfolio and leading negotiations for that. Earlier, I have handled 15,000 crores in major infrastructure project. But what I am most proud of is how our teams came together and they were able to create value for the organization using different levers. I've been able to consistently achieve more than 10% of the savings. Secondly, talking about digitization and automation. I believe that technology is a major enabler. And when we launched our digital transformation initiative like the Project Pragati, the goal was not just to automate things, it was to create an intuitive, Amazon like experience for our teams. This helped us cut down the bureaucracy, delays, and maintain a highly predictable time, a turnaround time of 30 days. Thirdly, about risk and governance. Because of my academic grounding in risk management, I don't look at procurement as just buying things. I look at how we can protect the company from market volatility, commodity inflation, and supply chain shocks. Alongside this, I have always focused on workplace safety, compliance, and governance, including chairing our PASH committee to ensure a secure, respectful environment for our people. So, how does this sound to you? I just wanted your, you all are experts, wanted your feedback as well.
Yeah, it was good, ma'am.
So like
Sure.
this, you also develop, if you have, every time we keep on changing our script, it, it doesn't become that grounded. So just create and, create a script for your own self. Ki what I have done, just not multiple points, but 3 points and merge it with your experience. Okay. Then the question that I sent to all of you was that what is your leadership style? So if I talk about my style, I'll just, before I, go through this, I'll tell you, it's more about, people centric style, and it is about executive transformation in the company, in the group, in my function, in my department. So everywhere I go, I want to bring about some transformations. So, what I say about myself is that if I had to describe my leadership style, I would say that I am a people centric transformer. I believe that strategy and deep technological changes only succeed if they are built on a foundation of empathy, mentorship, and team engagement. What this means in practice is that I don't push the changes through rigid mandates. For example, when we rolled out our digital procurement initiative, the goal wasn't just to automate, it was about sitting down with our business users, our teams on ground, and understanding their pain points and creating an intuitive buying experience for them. Because the team felt supported and heard, they embraced the system, which allowed us to maintain a predictable 30-day TAT. Ultimately, whether I am managing an annual spend of 2,000 crores or mentoring a team of 40 procurement professionals, I have learned that when you invest in your people and support them first, the strategic results and savings follow naturally. So it will just take about, 45 to 60 seconds. About the total is about 10 lines, maybe 30, 40 seconds. Only 10 lines. So how does this sound? Is it
It's very
making any
profound.
sense?
Yes. So I think you are not only mentioning the leadership style, you are also um, kind of explaining it that why you have made that style in a way, and also how you are also giving example that in which area you have implemented it, what are the benefit, I mean, what are the, let's say, the positives, or let's say not pros and cons, but let's say how you have utilized that leadership style to drive your objective. And so I think that's really profound, I would say. You're not just talking about my leadership style is this and then, concluding it somehow. It's very multidimensional. Uh, very
Yeah,
nice.
so means when it is people centric and execution,
Hmm.
how this has helped. Because no strategy would work
Yeah.
without, whenever without your people.
Correct. Yeah.
And the results would naturally follow when the people are part of your, transformation exercise.
Yeah.
So what I suggested that, what exactly is first, if you want to look at it, look at what are the various styles of leadership available. look at that laundry list. That's what I also did. Ki what are the various styles? From those styles, I picked up what mine are. And then I suggested, then I added examples on my own. So this is a good way, and these are very natural questions. Because once you have, yourself worked on this, then it becomes your own style.
May I ask if you could share this with us?
Yeah, I can share. So nothing.
That could be really in terms of it's really
So,
giving a good framework.
so the one aspect is
Mhm.
I've seen this question coming up at least in a couple of interviews. Okay. And I think in one of the interviews, the input that I got was, why did you adopt this particular leadership style versus, let's say, a different style of a leadership, right? So a little bit of, that compare and contrast of,
Okay, so if somebody asks, why did you, why did you adopt this style? So actually, the style, we don't adopt a style. What happens when we are working with people? This is our natural style. When we are working with people, and when we are working mainly on the transformational, aspects, so this becomes our natural style.
Hmm.
Like
Okay.
empathetic leader. So empathetic, when we are people focused, that empathy is always part of, people.
Right. So the reason why I know why I
Yeah,
brought this
Kalyan, just give me the exact thing. What leadership style you said, and what did they mention, that why not? Okay, if you remember, then
Yeah. So that's a standard answer. So my standard answer is my style of leadership is democratic. Okay, so I don't enforce decisions hard on. Okay, I like participative kind of an environment, and so I sort of respect diverse views, and let's say I build that alignment. My what I do, what I enable is, with that kind of leadership style, is enable that alignment across the diverse views, right? And I bring in the aspect of democracy, and I like it. I'm very close to that kind of leadership, is very close to my heart. Okay, so then the question is, don't are you not perceived as being too soft? Are you not perceived as being not driving the results,
I will ask the same question.
right?
Actually,
So,
democratic style is sometimes bit dangerous style also. If you are managing a very junior team, then this style is a good style. But if you are managing, a people of the level of VPs and general managers and above, then
okay.
this style sometimes can be a bit dangerous, because then there will be no, single answer. Then you have to bring in that, Hitler style also sometimes. Not every time, I would say, but you will have to bring that, what I would say. Democracy won't work there.
Diplomatic.
No, not diplomatic. You can't be diplomatic, because when the senior team is full of all, senior people, then you can't just, you can't do the voting also. That this is not a, you can't say, no, you, how many of you want this, how many of you want this. So sometimes your intuition as a leader has to be valued more than. But then what happens when we are doing that? Then that people who are reporting to us, they should have the trust that even though what I have said is not the final decision, but I trust in this person.
Hmm. Hmm.
Trust component has to be there. They
Hmm.
should have a trust that whatever decision you are taking,
Hmm.
because you have, more view than what your reportees have.
Hmm.
Your view is obviously arena is bigger and larger. So then that trust factor has to be there with the team, that they trust your abilities and your decision making, and then they follow you.
Yeah.
But isn't democratic same as the people-centric or human-centric leadership? Because it's about everybody's supposed to work towards achieving an objective, whatever the organization is meant to, or the team that is meant to achieve. But the leader is giving an equal opportunity for the team players or the team members to voice, and then the leader moderates the whole thing. I thought that is what it is.
In a people-centric leadership, the leader is, it takes care of the people. He has empathy.
Yeah.
He motivates his team. He will, mentor the team, empower the team.
Right.
Not necessary what they say will be, implemented. There may be multiple views. He will give the opportunity for everyone to share their views.
Yeah. That's what
But
is
when we
democratic
specifically
as well,
say
right?
democratic, it means you say, I want to go to London. He says, I want to go to Stafford. Then I'll say, okay, you go there, you go there. That is democratic.
Okay. Got it.
Any other question?
Nice.
I think also this situational leadership style, that is also something which is being taught in the trainings. At least I attended one specific training on the situational leadership, which talks about depending on the audience and your objective.
Every leader is a situational leader.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. Because if if there is a fire in the project, then you will not become a people-centric leader. Then you look at the situation and then you give those marching orders. Okay, this has to be done, this has to be done, means this is a dictatorial style. So that is situation leadership. If you are in happy moments, happy times, then you are democratic leadership, that everyone views, you are asking, welcoming, and taking into account. Situational leadership is more about a situation. That's what I think. In situations, how you are dealing. And every leader, whatever your style may be, you have to be a situational leader.
Yeah.
As I said, in a fire situation in your project, you can't be people-centric and call everyone and tell me what should be done, what do you say, what do you say. You can't do that. That at that situation, you are the boss. You run the shots.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Anything else?
I just have a contradictory view. I mean, so, okay, let me put my thoughts. So if you look at some of the leaders, right, they don't change their style. I've seen that, right? I mean, they don't change their style, but they, what I would say, like, an example could be if there is a fire, even a person, a leader who, I mean, the handling of the situation, even when there's a fire, need not change to the situation, right? I mean, he need not be, what do you call, like a tough lead. I mean, not a tough, but he need not to go to the level that, because as a leader, I believe that he or she should take on the fire, but not pass it on to the peers. But he needs to communicate it, but not changing the style, right? Because let's say empathetic leadership, right? I mean, that's one which is there in my way of approaching things. And over the years, I'm not been there. people like, bossy kind of people, right? Who say that, I have to get this done, no matter what. But I have not changed it to that mode because that won't work, right? Maybe the way we need to
Empathetic
handle.
is similar to people-centric. And you work in which industry, Rajesh?
I am with IBM, IT services.
Yeah. So I agree. In IT services, that kind of empathetic leadership would work. But the industry in which I work, infrastructure, we can't work on empathetic leadership because the projects are there, the commissioning dates are there are different milestones which we need to maintain. There are audits by the government. There are so many things in which you cannot just run on the empathetic leadership. So it depends upon the nature of the business as well.
Yes, yeah. Maybe manufacturing also, it may be tough.
Yeah, if you are, we at our works at peak of our project, there are 10,000 labor that is running, and there are risks of accidents which can lead to, fatal, which can be fatal accidents. So safety is very important. EHS in a workplace and at a project site is completely 360-degree concept. So I would say the type of industry also matters a lot.
Knowledge-based industry. Maybe.
Yeah, knowledge-based industry, people-centric, empathy-based, all these will really work. But when you are dealing with labor, when you are dealing with contractors, then this will not fly high.
That's right.
So does this sound okay to you?
Yeah, I'm just resonating. Yeah, thank you.
Good. Any other question? Okay. So I think my answers won't work with you. That's why I was just thinking about it. So what I suggest is you try to build your own narrative, looking at your industry, looking at, what you do. So next week, I want to hear from each one of you all these answers over here. Because once you just write and speak and then you are done and dusted, then they are yours. So the next question is, how do you keep your teams motivated during high pressure timelines? So I motivate my teams by focusing on two things that carry lasting value, giving them a clear sense of purpose and actively investing in their professional growth. I have found that people are most driven when they know why their work matters, when they feel that the organization cares about their personal future. So in large scale operations, it's easy for team members to feel like that they are just processing paperwork, just doing PR to PO rollout. I try to change that by showing them a bigger picture. For instance, I remind my team during my review meetings that they are not just negotiating material services contracts, they are securing the foundation for a world class airport or an energy asset. Once they see that their efficiency directly keeps the project on track, they stop seeing it as a transactional job and take true pride in the mission. Secondly, I believe in actively upskilling my people. Whenever we introduce digital shifts, like moving towards automation or faceless procurement, it can naturally make people anxious about their roles. I remove that fear by telling them that we are automating the routine tasks so that we can help you step into larger strategic roles. So, when a team knows that we are investing in their future, they naturally give their best. Ultimately, true motivation doesn't come from top-down pressure. It comes from purpose and growth. When we show people why their work matters and helps them grow their careers, then we build a loyal, high-performing team that can achieve any milestone. So how does this sound? So how will people become motivated? So what motivates people? I just looked at what are the various things which motivates people. Then what resonates with me, what I do for them. That's what I try to, bridge and build on that.
I think while people work for the company, they always look at what is in it for me. So as leaders, if that is shown to them, then I think it's a win-win situation.
Bilkul.
Nice. I mean, although what you narrated was, this answer was longer than your earlier answers, but I just got it.
We have to just, skim it also. I have to maybe actually see. I may have written it, but when I'm speaking, maybe I will, all few fancy words we may forget.
No, so what I
But the main thing, what we have to remember is a clear sense of purpose and investing in the team's growth.
Yes.
Sense of purpose, whenever we talk about sense of purpose, it gives people a higher platform to look at. That there is something, I'm contributing for the nation. This is what even I have, felt all along my career, working for all, big infrastructure companies, that I always thought that I'm, working for the nation.
Building.
And whenever I used to travel, I used to always tell my children, your mama is going to build this transmission line. This line has fallen. Your mama is going to restore electricity for that region.
Oh.
So even, they could also relate, oh, my mama has gone. So means we will live on our own and she is managing something bigger.
Yeah, true.
So just, creating some sense of purpose to them also, that some bigger thing is being, looked at. So similarly for your teams also, if we tell them that, yes, you have to keep on reminding them.
Yeah. The more you talk to them and about them, the purpose feels bigger.
Right.
They feel important. They contribute.
Otherwise, people just feel that what are we doing? We are just doing a transaction.
That's true. That was nice.
Any other comments? Yeah, Rajesh, you have unmuted.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking through that. So one is the sense of purpose, as you said, and then caring for their personal growth, right? And being part of their professional growth. I think these are the key things.
So similarly, Kalyan.
Yeah, so one this was also a question that I was asked. Okay, and I think the important thing is one size does not fit all. Okay, I've learned this during the course of my professional journey as well, right? So, and I'm trying to get a little sort of honest with all of us here. So for some, probably money is the motivation. For some, the challenge is a motivation. For some, that visibility, right? So that big stage is a motivation. And for some, sort of, maybe a bigger platform is a motivation, right? So what I have done is I put in effort to understand what that motivation is and try to segment my org into those groups, into those different segments. And for those, let's say money is the motivation, but then there's only a limitation, right? So I only have, as an org, I only have a budget that I can't go after, right? So what else?
But every year, can you give different, increment to different team members? No, different team members. What I mean is that, salary increase, can you do that for 4 employees, you increase the salary, and for others, you don't increase? Is it possible?
Yeah.
Huh?
That is possible, yes.
Acha, surprising.
Yeah, that is possible. So yes, and I've done that. I have done that, and yeah, and the rationale is clearly explained. So why this is done, right? And why, let's say, someone probably got that rating, or let's say, why someone got. I mean, the numbers are not shared per se. The percentages and the numbers are not shared. But then that doesn't remain as a secret, right? We all know, right? It gets spread.
That's all known, but that range is very, it's not a very big range that you can do from 10 to 40%. It will be maybe, at 8 to 15, 10, 15%. That's
So,
what I understand. I don't know about IT industry.
no, but then you can maneuver, right? I mean, you can probably maybe, like you said, give 0% to someone or a group of people, and then use that budget to the others, right? So that is something that you can.
So just
some
Kalyan, one question I have before we move forward. If I give 0% to anyone, for people may have different motivation, but don't you think a 0% increment would demotivate a person? Though money may not be a motivation for that person.
No. So when I say 0% is if you take into account the performance, you take into account, let's say, what they have achieved, right? And what were their KRAs, what were their objectives, right? And then if it clearly comes out, so in fact, I actually built a very exhaustive framework which would take their accomplishments and then score. It will do a scoring, and then there is a relative grading which it does. Okay, I built all this, and when it comes out, I mean, I'll say that considering, and the evidence is right in front of you in terms of your accomplishments and things like that, right? But yeah, but that apart, as long as that justification and that basis is clear enough, I was able to sustain that. Right, I was able to.
Good. How many people do you have in your team?
I mean, at its peak, so my practice was close to about 130. 130
So for 130 people, you were, able to derive different motivation tactics for all?
Meaning the first line and the second line, okay? And primarily as the practice grew, I tried to tell my first line and second line that this is the framework that you can also adopt. And this is the framework that you can make tweaks and apply it to your direct reportings. Right? So, I mean, it has served so far. So, yeah.
Good. Very nice. If you are able to deal with it, it is wonderful.
Yeah. May I add? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think what Kalyan is referring is like performance-based culture, where company is allowed to reward the performers with a higher magnitude of percentage, let's say, and low performers are being graded low in terms of the salary hike, or even have to undergo the performance improvement plan, not limiting to only once in a year cycle, but it could be also twice in a year and so on. So now they have removed this cap that only you do this exercise once in a year. But all said and done, the business outlook, at least in automotive industry, if I'm referring, or maybe some of the IT industry. So the challenge today is that although we say high performers would be rewarded highly, the percentage what you can give, there is always a cap. If it is a growing organization, then definitely you have the positions available because of business opportunities, and also the percentage will be higher. But in today's scenario, motivating the team, I mean, the cycle of promotion, the number of years that a particular person will stay in the level has increased. So we are creating a kind of a spiral kind of a system wherein we say that, okay, earlier if I'm talking about junior grade people, if they were being promoted to the next level after every 2 to 3 years, today's scenario is that it has become minimum 5 years. And then we first say that, okay, first 2 to 3 years you perform well, and then we rotate you to the other, let's say the area of the work, not just the other project, but to provide you the opportunity to learn some other domain. The level may be same, but his breadth of the knowledge and the experience will increase. So these are some levers that now we have to adopt because of the business situations. I just wanted to add that.
True, that's right. These days, it's not that easy, but in some, actually, it varies from company to company also.
Yeah.
I have a
So
question
it's
Yeah,
becoming
Ravi.
extremely
for
challenging for managers in today's scenario to keep the team motivated.
I know. And especially the youngsters, what I see, they are more
Especially,
motivated by
yeah.
money. So after 2-3 years, whatever motivation you may give, whatever sense of purpose you may show them, money is the only thing, that works.
Yeah. I
So
mean, it
after
has
2-3
happened.
years, they keep on switching and they look for better
Exactly.
opportunities, better. Our
It has
era was
happened,
different.
to couple of cases that we gave the highest rating, and in comparison to the level of rating which others got, and I'm saying percentage of hike. I mean, when I say rating, so it
Yes.
was let's say twice or thrice, and then we were thinking in our mind that, oh, this guy got 25%, which is nowhere up to now. But those guys were still crying. They're saying our salary itself is lower than the industry grade, and we don't see any kind of happiness on their face. So next year they are even more crying that now I have to match my salary to the industry level or I am going.
True, that is true actually.
Even more so, they compare with their peers,
Yeah.
friends who are working in other companies. It could be other
Exactly.
industry also. They compare
Yeah.
like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, Ravi, go ahead.
Yeah, Kalyan, I just had a question for you. Like, you people have mid-year appraisals by any chance?
So that again,
Mid-year appraisals or like,
Sorry, come back.
do you have mid-year appraisals?
Yes,
Kalyan?
we have.
No,
We have. I don't know. Kalyan, you have?
no. So what we have is okay. So there is something called as a quarterly assessment. So we use Workday, and there's a quarterly assessment. There's a quarterly connect. Okay, but the appraisal is only once. Appraisal is only once, and we follow the April to March cycle. So our hikes start from 1st of April.
So like quarterly reviews also, like it might be highlighting the performance of that particular individual, right? Who would be getting 0%. So
Correct.
he had 3 chances, right? And then he
Correct.
could have been put in PIP, kind of. That's the thought,
Correct.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Any other question? So I think, are you in a condition to, write your own stories on this? How do you motivate? See, our style may be mixed, so you can make it, like a mixed style also. That I try to divide people into various clusters, and I try to, focus on the needs of the people.
Yeah, this Saturday
Cluster
we
by
are having
cluster.
this Saturday we are having an exercise of writing stories and
Sunday.
okay, Sunday.
So I also did, this because if I'm telling you, firstly, I should, have that framework, how to write that. So I did that and it came out very beautifully. So
So you
that
share
format
this.
I have given you, first make an Excel because we tend to forget what we are doing. So, and anyways, before appraisal, we do all these things. So anyway, that record you may all be having if you have April to March cycle. So through that, what are the exceptional things that you have done? Pick out any 5 to 8. And on that, first just note the metrics. What did you save? How it impacted people? How the user experience became better? What is the value creation? What was the activity that was done?
I have one story, like I can uh, say it if you allow.
Yeah, share it quickly.
Okay. So when I took this role of head of engineering role, I inherited.
Ravi, can you be a bit louder?
Let me.
Your voice is a bit low.
Is it better now? Okay. So when I took this role, okay. So when I took this role of head of engineering, I inherited a technically capable people or the team, but they were underdeveloped team of engineers who were working in silos and individually without any career plan or a growth plan. So they were missing the mentoring structure, or they didn't had the thought of future leadership, right? So I thought of like I was in a dilemma what to do. So I had to take a decision, and I thought like I should have a career plan for these people, because as it is, they are going to help me going forward in future, right? And they should be somewhere at a near par so that they can actually take decisions on their own. So I actually created goals for each of them, and then like I designed career path for them for a year or two, which actually like I discussed with each of them. So there were 12 of these individuals who were directly reporting to me. So I created career path for them, every 6 months, 12 months, what has to be done and what has to be achieved for each of them. And I regularly had one-to-one sessions with them to make them understand what has to be done and what challenges are they facing in case they need any help. So this actually helped them, like it actually helped the team to grow and individuals to grow. And based on the knowledge sharing and everything, after a year or so, some of them were promoted to engineering leads. And now 3 months back, some of them have been promoted to architect level. So over the 3 years, like 12 engineers who were actually under me, they are either working as engineering leads or architects, and they have been reporting to me. So this has actually created a next set of leaders, and I got Bob Award at my company, like Builder of Builders, so that I have created builders of the next generation or the next lag who will be creating the leaders again.
Very good. Excellent. Wonderful. You use the star format. It was very nice. But just one feedback. I did this and I told them my team. Just, when you are talking about actions, just crisp. A leader is one who just makes things very crisp. So just talk about actions 1, 2, 3, 4. When you talk about situation, just 3, 4 lines on the situation and the results. Though it was very good, it can be just compressed and made bit crisp. So what you did, you called them, I had a dialogue with my team and I gave them a career plan that they need to focus on these areas for their development. And the team took it positively and they, worked on that plan, and they were, and I usme could add some masala also like that, I did a monthly review with them to understand if they had certain pain points, and I showed them those, how to solve those areas. And then we could, develop this leadership pipeline, and they all became leads and architects.
Sure. Thanks.
Just refining, otherwise it is wonderful.
Correct.
Very nice script. Amazing. Very good. Appreciate. Very good. So
Thanks.
like this, if we build few pipelines, that what we have done, we all have done multiple things. It's just that we think कि ये सब छोटी चीजें हैं, but actually they are really very good things. And like you have spoken, if you speak whatever you have spoken also, that shows, and when whatever we have done, when we speak, it shows on the face only. And it gives, the interviewers the confidence. Good. Anything else? So quickly, I will just read one, how do you handle conflict? So how do you handle conflict? When conflict arises within my team, I handle it by focusing on the people element and the process element. Firstly, the people element. I don't believe in resolving conflicts through group emails or formal mandates. I prefer to sit down with each individual privately in a safe, non-judgmental space. I listen to their perspectives and let them vent. Often, conflict comes from a place of pressure or underlying anxiety, and simply making people feel heard de-escalates 80% of the tension. Secondly, the process. Once the emotions are settled, I bring both parties together to look at the facts objectively. As an engineer, I view the conflict as a useful data point. It usually reveals a hidden bottleneck, the overlapping roles, an unclear KPI, or a resource constraint. We shift the focus away from who is right to what is right for the project. Ultimately, my goal is to turn a conflict into an opportunity to improve our workflow while ensuring that the teams walk away with their professional respect and trust fully intact. So look at, how you resolve. As we all are leaders, we are facing conflict day in, day out. So how do we resolve? Just your style only you have to pick. That you call people one by one or you bring them together on the table. So this is my style. But you may be handling it in a different way. So just look at what is your style of resolution and write your script. So yesterday I wrote about these questions. So just go through those and make your own. During the weekend, you work on all these areas. Do some research. What are the various conflict resolution styles? And just build your two lines script on that. Any comment, any remark?
Okay, so yeah, this is again a pretty. I mean, what you have done is you have put together these standard, sure short questions, and you've curated them so nicely. So this particular one, more often than not, it sort of meaning it's based on a scenario or a situation. So one is the theory part of it, and the other is the sort of the actual application of that theory to that situation, right? Okay.
True.
Right, and
what is the case that's coming on your mind?
Yeah, so this was about the gray line as far as the roles and responsibilities are concerned. And not everything is black and white, and so the situation was something which was supposed to be taken care of, which was supposed to be delivered. Neither of the individuals took care of it, and it fell between the cracks, and that came back, and it created a little bit of, it created quite a bit of an issue with respect to the customer, right? So, and then, in terms of the finger pointing, the blame game, etc., and all that. And so my way of handling that particular situation is, I mean, not everything is probably always available in black and white, right? And sometimes there are definitely gray areas. So there are gray areas. First is to sort of consult and then get clarity on that, and try to see who needs to take the ownership of it, right? And my style has been to use anecdotes, and I use anecdotes. And my favorite anecdote is, how do you handle the situation at home if your kids are at loggerheads? So you as a referee, you as the head of the home, how do you handle the situation? So if you extrapolate that and go back to first principles and bring in that grounding. So in fact, I mean, both of them will understand that, and it will be a lesson learned, right? And so that's how it is. So yeah, so this is a question where a scenario is probably
Yeah, so this I would say this is an opportunity, to improve the workflow. What happened? There are gray areas, but as we come to know about a gray area, as a leader, I looked at it and used it as an opportunity to make it black and white, so that in the next project, this learning can be used as a knowledge management tool and be implemented for the projects to come.
yeah, so that the same mistake doesn't get repeated,
Yeah,
and the same conflict situation does not arise.
right. And next thing is that, as a leader, if both the teams are reporting to me, then my other thing also would be, to guide the teams that customer is always the king. Internally, whatever fighting we may do, but for the customer, the result has to be there. If it is a customer facing thing. So they have to be mindful and take the responsibility. They can't say it doesn't fall in my zone.
Yeah. And few other, so that's one. And then the other analogy that I use is sports. This is also a fantastic analogy, right? And then that brings the two conflicting parties together pretty quickly when that analogy is used. So
yeah, that's very nice. Yes, anybody else? Good, then that's good for the day. Tomorrow we'll talk about more things. And then we will do some case studies also. We'll all look at, we did one case one day. We'll talk about few other cases also. So how is this approach sounding to you? Is it making some meaning or giving some meaning or purpose, or how do you find it? Just a quick feedback.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, come back.
Yeah, this is really helping.
Helping. Okay, good.
yeah, see,
All of you? Kalyan,
yeah. So like you said, right? So if let's say we get this story intact and this story gets across nicely, right? This will probably have that cascading impact on, let's say, the subsequent rounds. Okay,
Yes.
and this sets the stage, this sets the tone, And the more you are at ease with these questions, and the more you own them, and the more you are able
Hmm.
to
Though
bring.
we all have a style. Like when I was writing this, this is my natural style. But I never focused on thinking about what is my style on these. Because these we are doing it for ages now. But just reflecting back, thinking and writing, and then you own this. Yes, this is my style. We also don't know sometimes what my natural style is. And everything has a name. Giving that proper name to whatever we are doing. We may tell 100 things about it, but I am a people centric transformer. It sets a different stage altogether. Other way we'll talk about I care about people, I believe in execution, this, that. So that should come, but at a later. Firstly, we are talking about what? What is my conflict resolution style? It's about people and the process. Human dynamic and the system dynamic. Human and system dynamic style. So you are making your own styles and you have a name for that. Though you are doing the same thing, but you may not have those names, fancy names. Then what happens once you remember this, then you also remember what my actual style is. That you focus on the human element, you focus on the process also. You improve the workflows, you work on system improvement through the conflicts. Good. Any other question? Neil, what's your view? Is this style working?
Yes, definitely. So this is preparing us, also allowing us to reflect. And as you just know what you said, that we have to name it. So we should able to describe it in a crisp way. Then instead of the explanation part will come later.
Yeah, explanation will follow when you are clear, na. Then even if you write 10 sentences, when you are speaking, it will be only 4, 5. And we
Yeah,
have to talk crisply only, not keep on repeating the same things.
correct.
That
Correct.
crispness is the quality of a CXO.
Yeah.
Less is more.
Yeah.
And just adding a small example wherever possible. Good. Divya, are you enjoying?
Yes, I enjoy.
Very good. Preeti, how about you?
At least during these sessions, your leadership is participative leadership. You're making us also talk. You're welcoming ideas. You're welcoming comments. So, yeah, nice. I'm enjoying.
Yeah, everyone is a leader
Thank
over
you
here.
so
So
much.
it's, we what I feel is that, when we are in a leaders community, we all learn from each other.
Yes.
It's not that, I am speaking and you are learning. No, that's not like a teacher-student relationship.
So true, yeah.
It's, learning together. As Rajesh said that day, lifelong learning.
Lifelong.
So it's, like lifelong learning and learning together. Good. Okay. So are we ready to log out?
Yeah, sure.
So tomorrow we'll talk about how we talk about our SWOT.
Sure.
Okay, SWOT we'll learn. And this weekend, give some time to yourself. Think about, develop your, this repositories. And story, once we complete this after tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and then I'll show you some stories, how I have developed those stories.
Yeah.
And I am also amazed, it was a good exercise for me also. Yesterday I worked for 3-4 hours and, I also felt good about it. Good. Thanks to Geeta. Okay. Bye-bye. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.